Welcome back, Cancer, to Intuitive Insights with Willow. Here is where I always wish you peace and the understanding that life is always happening for you, not to you. So let's see what's going on with you during this retrograde. Huh? 5 card draw, because that's what I do. Mind my bill. Oh, I wanted that one, but then this one did a spark. Okay, 5 of Cups. So funny. Everything is just continuing on. So we have 5 of Cups. That's what we're going through. Doing a little mourning, a little sadness, reflecting. There's some regret, some pain. Tell you something. You can't have the past back. 8 of Swords. Regretting some words, some strong words that was exchanged between you and a loved one. 2 of Pentacles. At the Moon. Nope, that's Queen of Cups. My darling, you. And the Queen of Pentacles. That is our 5 cards. Ace of Cups. Love at face value. Love in its purest form. The opportunity of love, the opportunity of change. All right, let's clarify current situation. So if you're feeling very sad right now, feeling heartbroken about this was some imbalance just on face value. I mean, your cards are just yelling out. So 5 of Cups, you're feeling hurt and wounded in the matters of love in the heart. It's dealing with this 8 of Swords. So some kind of argument, some kind of words, you being immovable, unwilling to bend to someone else's benefit. That's how you saw it. I don't know your situation, only you do. But what it does say to me is that you didn't see at first the opportunity for things to work out. If you gave to this, it would give back to you. It had a positive boomerang effect. It would have created some balance between the two of you. And you didn't see that. You didn't seize that opportunity, or they didn't. Energy is interchangeable. But here, the advice, Queen of Cups, just stay in the positive energy. Just stay true to yourself. Be nurturing, be loving, and be understanding. Emotions come and go. And you know what, Cancer? Y'all are very sensitive. You pick up on all emotions. I mean, your tool is emotional manipulation. And it's because you know how to read people. You can see people's wounds. You can see what feeds joy into them. And you can also see what inflicts pain in them. And that's just a gift that all Cancerians have. The outcome, though, is the Queen of Pentacles. So things are still looking good for you. Things are still working out. Even though you have that pain, what it says for me, going from the 5 of Cups to the Queen of Pentacles, everything is working out like it should. Forgiveness will come to play. Balance will be restored. And wealth is still being created within the dynamic. Wealth, yes, we all think wealth, money, money, money. But it's not just money. Wealth could be just in happiness, successful relationship, an abundance of joy, an abundance of peace, financial stability. That can be a form of wealth. You understand? You may be the first to do it. And others may not ever knew that they needed it. They needed to master that. You could be setting that footstool for them. But let's clarify and see what we get. 5 of Cups, clarified. Why am I thinking, what is that? Is that Ghost? Yeah, I think it has Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Okay, you could definitely be dealing with the fire sign. You guys see how I pull out these cards. It's so weird. You got Temperance, 8 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Somebody else got this combination. So you could be dealing with the fire sign. That's your Aries, your Sagittarius, and you're a Leo. What is dominant here is definitely Sagittarius. Temperance is Sagittarius. 8 of Wands is Sagittarius. Heavy Jupiter energy. The feelings that you have within you, you still yearn for them. You still desire them. You're wishing for balance. It's given shoulda, coulda, woulda energy. Anytime you have the Five of Cups, you're just dwelling on what went wrong, and you're not able to move forward because of the heartbreak that's within you, that wound, that deep cut that you got. Eight of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles. Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Now that's interesting. Nine of Cups and Queen of Cups are both Pluto energy. They both are Piscean energy. Page of Pentacles, though, when the Page of Pentacles comes through, the Page of Pentacles is not greedy. The Page of Pentacles is all about learning, gaining valuable assets for future gains, to fuel future gains. That's what the Page of Pentacles is, okay? So it makes me feel like you guys were having, this is the vibe I get, Page of Pentacles with Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It's giving me mother-daughter vibes, being at odds of what one feels is best for them. While the other one has the wisdom, the other one lacks the wisdom but carries great ambition. And they're just like, you're going in blind. I'm not going to support this. You need to do this instead, or go about your business. And I don't think you or that person, the younger person that you were dealing with, I don't think you thought they would leave. That was a surprise for you. You thought by saying that, because you're so good to them, they would stay, but they chose to hit the road. Two of Pentacles is clarified. We have Four of Swords. King of Pentacles. You, Two of Wands. Doesn't always come out, but it's the fact that I know what it is because it's torn. Anyways, Two of Pentacles is clarified with the Four of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. You got swords, wands, and pentacles out here. I say hello. All right. Okay. So I think what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity. It's like you're throwing out bait for this individual to bite it. You're not making it obvious of a reconciliation, but it's like you're throwing out, there's some kind of opportunity, some kind of choice you are making to put out there for this person to seize it. I need more water. The last 3 days, I have done so much talking. My voice hurts so bad. My throat hurts really bad. I wouldn't mind if it was a different kind of pain, but it's this one. So carry on. So you are utilizing your wisdom, being in your energy of creating an opportunity. That is what Cancers do. They create opportunities of love, of acceptance. They also create avenues that will require some hard work. It requires you to give your best. If it's for you, it wouldn't be out of your element. So I think you're deciding to support this individual, but not in a way that's looking like they were right and you were wrong. It's like as if, you know, when you have as a parent, this is what it's giving me. But I want to go to the party. Michael's going to be there. Tasha's going to be there. Mommy, everybody is going to be there. Everybody. It is the party of the year. It's the last party of the summer. You're telling me I can't go? And you know, you like, look, Yolanda, you don't need to go to that party. Ain't nothing going on good there. Come home. I want you to go there and you depending on this person to give you a ride there, honey, I gotta work. I ain't got time for all that. And they're very adamant about it. And then it goes to a big ordeal. Now, I don't feel like that was the main event. I feel like something of that dynamic came to pass, and it just fueled more. Now, Yolanda got in her head, you trying to control her. You know, the cat getting a little tingly, titties popping out, thinking they're a little grown now. They're in high school. They could be at the end of high school. They could be in college. Who knows what the situation is. This is a person that is starting to spread their wings, and they feel like you're preventing them from flying. That could have been the start of it. And then other little things just piled up and piled up. And then it starts to highlight in their head. Before they can do anything, they have to come to you about it. But this situation, this dynamic has always worked for the best interest of both of you. You have the wisdom. They have the ambition. And together, the two of you thrive really well together. This is somebody that wants to stand on their own. They don't want to be a backup singer anymore. They want to do lead. And you're saying, look, baby girl, you can do lead all you want. But you need to oil up them vocal skills. Because you go out and get in front, you're going to make a fool of yourself because you're not practicing like you should. You're not taking care of yourself the way you should. You understand what I'm saying? I think it was in that dynamic. You were advising and guiding, and this person pushed back. And then this was something you stood firm in because you saw where they would be headed at. And that person didn't see that. They're young ass, young kids. They're young blood. They fiery. They think they know everything. I could say that because I wasn't like that. Sometimes I look back and I'll be like, man, I was a teen. I could have did this and I could have did that. I had such I still do, such an old mind. Now I done got older. It's kind of like I'm reversing on my age. And I said that, I've been saying that to my kids age backwards because they look much older than they are. But like for me, I was always so responsible and stuff like that. And now I'm kind of like loose and free, pump the brakes. I'm a little too old to be doing that. But you got to live a little. I think that's the precipice this person is at. I like that word. But I think that's where this individual is at. They think they know everything. You're trying to hold them back. They don't, hormones is going. I don't mean just spicy, just in general. Spreading their wings. They want to flap. But they don't know where the hell they're going. Because they can't see like that. They're a little bird. They act around here talking all big like they're a fucking eagle and can see everything, and they can't. But you understand you have to allow them to fall. You gotta allow them to scrape them wings. You have to, and I think you realize that here with this Two of Pentacles, for them to understand the value of the wisdom that you give them. See, when you tell they little young asses, see, I've been through that. You ain't got to do it. I already know what you're thinking. I know what you're doing because I already been there, done that. I got eyes in the back of my head. You ain't fooling nobody. They don't like that. Kids like, I can get one over on you. You're challenging them. I learned when my children were younger that for my children, I cannot bark orders to them. And it wasn't in the form of me telling them, clean your room. Like, not like that. I would give them a list. They didn't do it. I'll do a double back. They probably did a little progress. Then I put a time limit on it. I come back. They still ain't get it done. Now we arguing because they taking their time moving their feet and they had enough time to get it done. But see, the drive wasn't there. I have always raised my children where I ask them to do something and then they have the opportunity to say yes or no. But they got to the age, which they are now, teens, it's no option anymore. You need to do this. When I come up them stairs and I look in that room, I want to see a made bed. I want to see a clean floor. When I go in that bathroom needs to smell good. I don't want to see no clothes on that floor. The reason being is you are older. You need to be picking up after yourself. You get to a stage now, I have to prepare you to be a man, to be on your own. I don't ever want my babies to leave me. But they might, they might. They should, right? Because once a man findeth the wife, he cleaveth to the wife, he leaveth the mother, something like that is saying in the Bible. And they should. But I want them to be able to stand 10 toes on their own. But telling them, you need to get your room clean now. You see that? Or, How's that room coming along? Do you see? It's a different approach. It's like as if I attack them. I raise them to be independent and stand strong in their own. But then for me to turn around and fuss at them or bark orders to them, oh, I'm attacking them now. And that's how this person is in that phase now. They feel attacked by you. They feel hindered by you. And I think you realize that. And you're like, all right. All right, go ahead, Shirley. Shake that thing, move that thing, look all stinking nasty. And then see if Roberta over there gonna look at you any different. Because no man won't what he can see through. If you don't hold any value, I mean, they all like the little spicy girl. Because when you experience, you fun, you know. Hey, there is nothing wrong with that. You come to terms with it early. But wife material, generally they pick the wrong ones anyways. Usually in that kind of dynamic, the party type, you know, with the societal acceptance and all that other stuff. You gotta, you know, you bump your head a few times. Let's digress. You see what I'm saying, though? You're trying to put them on game in some kind of situation. It doesn't have to be like that. I just utilize that because I know, for one, that's what came to mind. And two, it's a very familiar scenario that a lot of people can relate to. So let's clarify your advice. Queen of Cups. High Priestess. All right, so the Queen of Cups is clarified with the High Priestess, the Nine of Wands, and the Two of Cups. All right. The advice is basically what I already said without even flipping the cards. Allowing them to gain their wounds, cuts, and bruises. Allowing them the process of having to go through that broken heart and re-heal themselves. You need that. You need that. It's unavoidable. You must be broken and rebuilt. It happens like that all the time. You have to, because you do not understand what you have until it has now been challenged, taken away from you, or, you know, the imagery of it is no longer the same. You recognize that now. You recognize that your role, your dynamic in this person's life, even like I said, even if it's work related, they go on do their own thing. They think they know what they're doing. Let them go on do their own thing. They can start their own business. They think they know what they're doing. Go ahead. The reality of it, excuse me, is that you'll keep a stronger bond with them by being just supportive when they need you to be. Keep that phone on, where if they have to call you, you know, they need you in the middle of the night or something, you be there. And by showing them that, they will learn to value that. Sometimes you got to be boxed in the corner, and nobody that you think are your support system, or that's your ride or die, they have to turn their backs on you. And it's not necessarily that they're turning their back on you. They're not available at that time for you. You need that. You need it to feel like all the doors are closed on you for you to understand who is really there for you. I don't like when, like how I just worded that. It's not that people ain't there for you. They don't love you. They ain't with you. You got to understand the trajectory of how somebody is playing, you know. You have to understand the value of one's presence in your life and what part they should be playing. Like the trajectory of the role that they play in your life. And you only see those kind of things in the darkness. Okay? Let's clarify your Queen of Cups. Wait a minute. I did that. We're going to clarify the Queen of Pentacles. That is your outcome. Yeah, so if you're a mother, you're not losing your baby or anything. It's a growing experience for you and them. I think that's another reason why I waited so long to have kids too. Because generally you make all the mistakes with your first. It's first for you, first for them, you know. And then the next kids, it gets better and better each time you do it, you know. Same ride. You kind of develop your own blueprint. You get molded. Because I've done a lot of changing with time. But I had two, and my two back to back, you know. So I like to tell my husband, oh, the third one is going to be so much easier. Babe, and just imagine when we get to the seventh, he's like, what the f-? Husband does not like that. You know, it'll be much better. He's like, what you talking about? I come from a big family. My husband does not. But yeah, he's like, yeah, you know, men think about their pockets. I can't afford that shit. He's like, I got all the milk. Oh, I breastfed all my kids. I got all the milk they need. And he breaks that up. He's like, yeah, but you couldn't keep up with that second one. I really couldn't. I was breastfeeding like 2 at the time. Well, one was bottle fed. One was bottle fed, but I still pumped. And the other one, I couldn't keep up with them. And we did have to integrate some formula. Because I could not produce enough milk until I learned, instead of just doing like on it, you know, or pumping when the bottle needed it. Because my first one just had the most difficult time latching, and I was done. My friend, she said it took her 6 weeks. Baby, my heart was breaking. I was feeling like my baby was dying. I need to do something. If he didn't want the nipple, you know, gave him a bottle. That was the nipple. It was enough. He still was breastfed. But for my youngest, milk me dry. And it was hard. So he's like, yeah, but what if you can't keep up with him? We get another one like that. He thinks about it. I'm like, babe, why you gotta think about all the horrible? What about how cute and chunky he was? He was so big, he looked bow-legged. I loved it. All my baby did was lay there, relax, and drink his bottles. Such a mama's boy. Lay there, sleep. It was so beautiful. He did that for years. And to this day, he's still like that too. He chills, minds his business, kind of keeps to himself. He comes give me my loving, my kisses. And, you know, he sticks to himself. They are the way that they are when they're babies. That's the way that they are when they get older. It's so cute. But your Queen of Pentacles, it's clarified with the Ten of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Honey, you could be dealing with 2 teenagers at once too, with these knights. But you work too hard. You put too much into this connection for it to just crumble. The dynamic is just changing. That's it. Because when you got the Ten of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, honey, you're very valued. They see what you do for them. They understand your place. You're going nowhere. You know? It's a strong foundation read. One of them could be in love, though. If you're dealing with 2 boys, one could be in love. You may not see it coming, but they could be in a serious relationship, because we do have these 3 cards, which is 7 of Swords, Queen of Wands, and Judgment. One could be enduring a heartbreak, but I don't see that. I feel, Mom, this is my fiance. That's what I heard too when I saw the Knight of Cups. This is mine. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be a hard road adjusting, seeing all the bull that children put you through. But just know you're going to get through it. And if it's in the sense of business, you know, 2 worlds, 2 individuals strongly and diligently working hard on their portion of the company, bringing things to full circle, to the surface. It's beneficial for everyone. It's a good way to end a reading. All right, Cancer, if you enjoyed this reading, give your girl a like. You like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. Understand that the universe is always pushing us to the limit. And no matter what hand of cards the universe deals out to you, you play that hand to the best of your ability. Because either way, you got it. 6 feet above the dirt, you still got a chance to make it right. Okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye.